Hello, this is Mrs. Ridgway, and we're going to be opening an existing document and modifying it and saving it under a different file name. If you want to follow along, I am on page 32 in chapter 1 of Word in the blue section of your textbook. On page 32, we're going to start with step 3. Navigate to the Word 1 folder. All right, so we're going to go to Word 1. So I'm going to go down to the bottom to the taskbar and click on my File Explorer folder, and then go into my H drive. That's where I saved my folder for of all the student data files. And then I'm going to double click the folder, and you'll see inside the Word 1 through 4 student data files, I have a Word 1, 2, 3, and 4 chapters. Okay, we're going to be working with Word 1, so double click Word 1. And we are working through the tutorial, which is also called the module. So double click on the module. And then once we're inside the module folder, we are to click on the document entitled 1-1. So it's this top one, 1-1. Okay, this is our document. We've opened it, and now we need to save it. We want to keep this original document, so we're going to save as. If you save, it replaces. It throws away and replaces. But we want to create a second document with a name. This one's the 1-1, which is the original, and so we're going to go to File, and we're going to Save As, and then choose where I'm going to save mine in the H drive. Yours is in the Z, or it could be on your personal computer somewhere. So I'm saving mine to the H drive. Yours is the Z drive, and renaming this document according to step 2 at the very bottom of the page. We're naming it WD1 underscore flyer underscore, and be sure and put your last name. And then we're going to save. Okay, look at the title bar at the top of the screen, and you'll see that your document name appears. And then we're going to move on to page 33. Just to verify that the document is displayed in your print layout, which it is at the bottom. If you look on the status bar, at the very bottom, it is in print layout. And then zoom to 120%, and I have done that. So click the plus in the lower right-hand corner to 120%. At this point, the document's very simple. But by the time we finish the document, it will look like the document that you see on page 30 and 31. Okay, on page 34. We're going to be using the editor pane. As you type, Word marks possible spelling and grammatical errors, as well as wordiness, with underlines so that you can quickly go back and correct those errors. A more thorough way of checking the spelling in a document is to use the editor pane to check a document word by word for a variety of errors. We're going to review the spelling and grammar settings that are there already in the options of Word. So on your ribbon, click File at the top. Click File tab, and then the blue pane, go to the very, very bottom of the blue pane and choose Options. Okay, in the left pane, choose Proofing. Note the 3 selected options in the When Correcting Spelling and Grammar in Word. Okay, notice it down here. When correcting spelling and grammar in Word. Okay, in there, we're going to choose settings. We're going to click on settings so we can go into more detail. And most of the grammar settings are checked. And then under clarity, we only see one. Okay, we see one check mark. Let's go and see what the book says. Okay, clarity. Okay, so basically we were to look at the settings, which word is to check for capitalization, comma missing, adjective used instead of an adverb, and so forth. All right, and now just wanted us to look through here and then cancel. And on this page, we're going to click recheck document. Okay, I'm pointing to it. Hopefully, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but I'm under the words writing style. I'm going to click the little button recheck document, and it gives me a warning. And yes, I want to do this, so I'm going to click yes. And then in the word options dialog box, I'm going to click at the bottom, click OK to return to the document. All right, now in order to, if your cursor is not up at the top, just click next to the W at the very top. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs in this document. You can tell by the backwards P. This is your non-printing characters. Number 2, on the ribbon, we're going to click the Review tab. So click Review, and the ribbon changes to display viewing options, reviewing options. And number 3, in the proofing group, click the Check Document button. Okay, I don't see a Check Document button, but going back to 2016, for that version, I'm just going to click Spelling and Grammar, and this does the same. Here's the proofing. And then step 5, in the editor pane, we're going to click the Protect Suggestion. This is it right here. We're going to click the suggestion, and it automatically changes within the document itself. Number 6, in the suggestions list, we're going to click Heard. Okay, there's too many periods, so we're going to Heard period. All right, and it corrects this word in the document. And then step 7, in the document, click to the right of the D in conduct. Okay, so we're going to click to the right of the D, and we're going to backspace and then just type a T. It should be contact rather than conduct. And then we're going to click resume. We're going to go over to the far right of the screen and click resume. Spelling and grammar check is complete, so click OK. And it should have taken this wavy line away. So we're going to right click, and we're just going to tell, let's see here. Well, we corrected it. Well, okay, since right clicking doesn't seem to allow me to make a change, I'll look at step 8 in the book. In the editor pane, if you happen to see an editor pane over in the right, click Ignore Once, and the dialog box will open, and then click OK. And then close the editor pane. Okay, I must be working with Microsoft Office 16. They may not have changed it in my office yet. Okay, at the bottom of page 37, to proofread the document. Review the document text for any remaining errors. So let's look for any remaining errors. In the second paragraph, change the lowercase p in panel to an uppercase P. Okay, so we're going to change this to an uppercase P. Number 2, at the bottom of page 37, in the last line of text, replace David's name with your first and last names. Okay, so I'm going to type. Then on page 38, we're going to change the page orientation. Change the document zoom level to 1 page. Okay, so we're going to go up to the view, and we're going to choose, in the zoom group, we're going to choose 1 page so that you can see the entire document. Step 2, on the ribbon, we're going to click the layout tab. So layout, and the ribbon changes to display the options for formatting the overall layout of text and images in the document. Step 3, in the page setup group, we're going to click orientation. So here's your page setup group, and we're going to choose orientation, and we're going to choose landscape. Notice the portrait, and then you flip it and it's landscape. So we're going to, there we go. Step 4, in the page setup group, we're going to click the margins. So we're going to click margins and then click the narrow options. Okay, we're working with flyers, and so it's best to choose narrow. The margins shrink from 1 inch to 0.5 inch on all 4 sides. Okay, on page 39, we're going to be changing the font and the font size. To change the font and the font size, we're going to go back to 120%, so the lower right-hand corner. There we go. And then step 2, click the Home tab. To verify that the insertion point is located at the very beginning of your document, hold down the Control and then tap Home key in the editing keys. Make sure that the cursor key is now in the top paragraph next to the W. Okay, press and hold the Shift. Okay, we're going to press the Shift and then click to the right of the second paragraph. Okay, so I moved to the end of the second paragraph, held the Shift and clicked, and it selected both the first and the second paragraph. I'm going to release the Shift key. Step 5, in the font group, on the Home group, click the font arrow. All right, so we're going to click, and this is our little mini toolbar right here. So they're showing us going up to the top, so we'll just go on up to the top here and choose the font arrow, which is next to Calibri here. And a list of available fonts appears. And see, you can move your mouse over each of these and see how it changes. Okay, and then on page 40, you know, when you move your mouse over these, it's called live preview, and it shows you the results that would occur in your document if you click the option that you're pointing to. But right now we're just going through and seeing it change in the background. Okay, number 6 on page 40, without clicking, move the pointer. Okay, I just did that. Number 7, when you are finished reviewing the font list, we're going to choose Arial. All right, so we're going to choose Arial. Verify that the first 2 paragraphs are still selected, and they are. And then we're going to click the size arrow. Okay, mine is currently showing 11. And we're going to click the size arrow. And on the font size menu, we're going to click 22. So click 22. The selected text increases significantly in size and the font size menu closes. Step 10, we're going to select the 3 paragraphs of text below the photo. So I'm going to take my mouse to the left and hold down the button and scroll down to select all 3 paragraphs that are below the photo, and I'm going to format them in the Arial font. So Arial. And then we're going to increase the paragraph's font to 22. And then we're going to deselect by just clicking anywhere in the blank area of the document. Save the document. Let's click to save. I'm going to click it again just to make sure. We're going to be applying text effects, font colors, and font styles. For formal professional documents, you typically only need to use bold or italic to make a word or a paragraph stand out. To really make text stand out, you can use text effects. You access these options by clicking the Text Effects and Typography button in the Font group on the Home tab. So if you look up in the Font group, you'll see this A that is outlined in blue. This is your text right there. Text Effects and Typography. Okay, we're going to apply the text effects to the second paragraph. We need to scroll up. And we need to, if necessary, to display the beginning of the scroll up if necessary to display the beginning of your document. And then we're going to click in the selected bar to the left of your second paragraph. So we're going to right here. The entire paragraph is selected. And then in your font group, on the Home tab, we're going to click Text Effects and Typography. So we'll go up here and we're going to click. And this is called a gallery. So notice how we've got live preview if we just move our mouse over each one of these, and you notice how it's changing a live preview in the background before we even choose. This gallery, it's a menu or a grid that shows visual representation of the options available when you click a button. Okay, number 3 says in the middle of the bottom row of the gallery, all right, place your pointer over the blue letter A. And it gives us a screen tip right here. It's fill, blue, accent color 5, outline, white background, color 1, hard shadow, blue, accent color 5. Wow. Okay, on page 42, in the bottom row of the gallery, we're going to click the blue letter A. All right, so we're going to click it, and we've got our text effect now. The text effect is applied to our selected paragraph. Okay, now we're moving on to step 5. In the font group, we're going to click the Increase Font Size. All right, so we're going to increase. So let's go up here. This is the increase A, and this is the decrease A, right next to the 22. And we're going to increase. So we're going to click the up button until it shows 24. And it increased to 24. And step 6 says to increase the font size again to 26. So we're going to click the up button one more time to 26. Now we're going to apply a font color, and we're going to apply bold. Select the 3rd and 4th paragraphs of the text. Okay, so here's your 3rd and 4th paragraphs of the text, which contain the text, provide input on upcoming water, etc., etc. Okay. Step 2, in the font group on the Home tab, so we're going to go up to the font group on the Home tab. We're going to click the font color arrow, shows A with red color under it. We're going to click the arrow, and we're to choose, let's see what we are to choose. Look, you can do the live preview. And then on page 43, we are to choose the blue accent 5 square. I think it might be on the top here. Yep, blue accent 5 square. So choose. And then close the gallery. And then while it's selected, in the font group, we need to click bold. So bold. The selected text is now formatted in bold with thicker, darker lettering. Okay, now on page 43 at the bottom, we're going to be aligning the text, and I'm assuming you've read your chapter. We're going to center align the entire text on this screen. So let me deselect here by just clicking anywhere. And now we're going to, bottom of page 44, step 1, make sure that the Home tab is selected. It is. And then hold down your Control A. Control plus A will select the entire text on the page. And then in your paragraph group, we're going to go up to the paragraph group at the top, and we're going to center align. So we have the left align, center align, and then the right align, and then we have justify, where it's smooth on both sides. We're going to choose center align. And that centers all of the text in the middle of the page. The text and the photo are now centered on the page, and then we're going to save the document. So let's save. Save. Step 4 on page 45, we're going to be adding a paragraph border and shading. A paragraph border is an outline that appears around one or more paragraphs in a document. Shading is background color that you can apply to one or more paragraphs and can be used in conjunction with border for a more defined effect. So to add the shading and the paragraph border, we need to scroll up if necessary and select the first paragraph. All right, so I need to deselect, and then I'm going to select, I'm just going to select the first paragraph. Be sure to select the paragraph mark at the end of the paragraph. Step 2, on the Home tab in the paragraph group. All right, so we're going to go up to the paragraph group, and right next to the paint bucket, you'll see what looks like a square or maybe a window pane. You're looking out the window. We're going to click, this is your borders icon, and we're going to click the down arrow next to borders, and the gallery shows. Let's see what this, yeah, it's live preview, so you can move up and down to see what it does. And then moving down to step 3, we are to click outside border. So we go down the list and we click outside border. On page 46, step 4, in the paragraph group, click shading arrow. That's the paint bucket. The paint bucket paints the background. So we're going to choose the arrow next to the paint bucket, and we're going to shade. Let's see if we can move. Oh yeah, see, we have live preview here as well. And we are to choose, if you look at step 6, blue accent 1, darker 50%. Okay, so there's blue accent, it's 40. What's this one, 25? Oh, okay. So we're to choose blue accent 1, darker 50%. And so I'm going to choose it right here. And while this is still selected, we want to make sure that the Home tab is still selected, and we want our text to be white. So in the font group, we're going to go up to the A, to the font group, and then we're going to choose the down arrow and choose white. So click in the white square. And now we have the border, we have the background color, and we have the font text color. Step 9, we're going to click the arrow. Okay, so we're going to, the borders arrow. So click here. And then at the bottom of the menu, we're going to click Borders and Shading. Borders and Shading. All right, so we're going to go down to the very, very bottom of the menu and click Borders and Shading. And this brings up the Borders and Shading box, and the tab Borders is showing. Click the color arrow. All right, so right here, we're going to click color and then click green accent 6. Let's see if it's this one. Yes, it's the top green. Choose green accent 6. Next, to make the border more noticeable, you will increase its width. Okay, so step 11, we're going to click the width arrow. All right, it's this one right here on the screen. Then we're going to choose 3 point. So we go down and choose 3 point. At this point, the settings in your Borders and Shading dialog box should match the settings in figure 1-34, which it does. Then we're going to click OK. And then we're going to click anywhere to deselect. All right, so that looks pretty nice. All right, now we're going to move on to add balance to the flyer. David suggests formatting the last paragraph in the document with the same shading border and the font color as we did in the first paragraph. Now this is pretty cool. We're going to be using the Format Painter to copy the formatting. On page 48, to use the Format Painter, change the document zoom to 1 page. So we're going to go up to View, click on the View tab, and choose 1 page so you can see. Okay, and then select the first paragraph. All right, so we're going to select the first paragraph, which is formatted with your dark background, your dark blue shading. It has the green border and the white font color. Step 3, we're going to go to the Home tab. So click on Home. And in the clipboard area, the clipboard group, you will, and it's on the far left, click the Format Painter button. It looks like a paintbrush. Some people say it looks like a flashlight, but you're going to click it 1 time, and that activates your Format Painter. It turns it on, and then we're going to move down to the last paragraph, and you're going to move your mouse close to the first word, and you'll see a paintbrush appear. And once you see that paintbrush, then you're going to hold down the left button and brush across. You can also just click. So you brush, and so that saves us a lot of time using the Format Painter. Okay, now we're to click anywhere in the document. And then page 49, your next task is to increase the paragraph spacing below the first paragraph, and it's talking about below this first paragraph here, we're going to increase the spacing between the first paragraph and the second paragraph. And then we're going to also increase the paragraph spacing above the last paragraph. So we're going to add more spacing between the last paragraph and the paragraph before. Okay, so page 49, to increase the paragraph spacing below the first paragraph and above the last paragraph, this is what we do. We're going to click anywhere in the first paragraph. So we're going to click. We don't select, we just click anywhere in the first paragraph. And then we're going to choose Layout tab. So click on Layout tab. And on this tab, look for the paragraph group, and you'll see spacing before and after. The paragraph group contains settings that control your paragraph spacing. Currently, the paragraph spacing for the first paragraph is set to the default of 0 points before the paragraph and 8 points after. Step 2, in the paragraph group, we want to click the after box because we want the space after the first paragraph. So we're going to click after, and then we're going to type 42, from 8 to 42, and press enter. And you notice that it has added space after the first paragraph. Okay, now step 3, click anywhere in the last paragraph. We're going to do the same thing, so click in the last paragraph and then go up to make sure your Layout tab commands are showing. And we're going to, this time, click the before box because we've clicked in the last paragraph. We want the space added before the last paragraph. So we're going to click in the before box and type 42 and press enter. And that added the space right here. The added space causes that last paragraph to move down to 42 points. Next, David wants you to replace the photo with one that will look better in the document's new landscape orientation. So on page 50, we're going to delete the current photo and insert a new one. So click the photo to select it. So I'm going to click on it and select. The circles that you see around the photo, these are called sizing handles. This may be on the test. Sizing handles, and these are around the edge of the photo, and they indicate that this photo is selected. The Layout Options button is this little bitty square just to the right of the picture. It gives you access to options that control how the document text flows around the picture itself. And you don't need to worry about these options right now. We're going to learn more about the layout options in another chapter. Okay, now with this picture selected, we're going to press the delete key on your keyboard to delete it. And then we're going to, the insertion point blinks next to the paragraph symbol, which it is on my screen. And this is a new feature that's been added. It's called alternative text. So now we're ready to insert a new photo in the paragraph containing insertion point. And when you do, you will briefly see a gray box at the bottom of the photo containing a description of the image. The description, which is called alternative text, or alt text for short, makes it possible for a screen reader device to read a description of the image aloud. This is useful for people with vision impairment who would otherwise find it difficult or impossible to read a document. Word automatically creates the alt text for most photos, although it's often too generic to be really helpful. Sometimes you have to go in and refine the alt text. Okay, so on page 51, to turn on intelligent services, we're going to insert a new photo and edit its alt text. Click File. So we're going to go to File. And then click Options. Options. And then in the Office Intelligent Services. Okay, so I don't have it here. I bet it will be in the classroom because I'm not really seeing it. Okay, again, I'm working with the version 2016 in my office. It's not been changed yet. So it says to just follow the steps. You are to click the Enable Services checkbox, and then you're to click OK. And then on the ribbon, you're going to click the Insert tab. Okay, so I can do that. I'm going to click OK down here as though I've already done that. And then on the ribbon, we're going to click the Insert tab at the top. And then we want to insert a picture. And the picture's it's located inside our Word 1 module folder. So we're going to click Pictures and then navigate to where your folder is, your Word folder. Let's see, here's mine, Word Student. Get back into your Word 1 folder and then into your module folder. And this is the picture, Support Water. Double click and it will automatically insert it into your document. So we did that. Now mine doesn't have the step 7 for the accessibility group on the ribbon, so you'll need to look at step 7 and take care of step 7. Take care of step 8, and then you'll need to take care of step 9 by typing water pouring from a bottle into a glass with a lake in the background. So this is on page 52. You'll need to take care of that, steps 7, 8, and 9. The bottom of page 52, to resize the photo, we need to make sure that the Picture Tools Format tab is still selected on the ribbon, and it is. If you look up at the top, you've got to be clicked on the picture itself and see the handles. And then if you look at the top, you'll see Format, and it shows Picture Tools right above Format. In the Size group, which is to the far right, locate the Shape Height box, and it's right here. Here's the height box, which indicates that the height of the selected picture is currently 2.6. And look at the Shape Width box, which is currently 3.9 inches. Okay, and then we move over to page 53. We're going to click the up arrow in the Shape Height box to increase the size slightly. We want to increase the height to 2.7. So we're going to click this arrow to 2.7. And the measurement in your width automatically changes to 4.05. Step 4, click the up arrow in the height box repeatedly until the picture is 3.2. So now it's 3.2 tall, and it should show 4.8 inches wide. Finally, to make the photo more noticeable, you can add a picture style, which is a collection of formatting options, such as a frame or rounded shape or a shadow. At the bottom of page 53, to add a style to the photo, make sure that the Picture Tools Format tab is still showing. And then in the Picture Styles group, shows all those picture frames, you're going to click the More button, which looks like a down arrow with a line above it. You're going to click the More button to the right of the Picture Styles gallery, and this shows a gallery. If you move your mouse, you'll see live preview looking at each of these different frames. And then place the pointer over the drop shadow rectangle. All right, so we're going to look for drop shadow rectangle style. I found it right here, which is the middle style in the top. Well, okay, it's up there. In the gallery, we're going to click the drop shadow rectangle, and that will change your picture style. We applied it to the picture. And then step 5, I'm on page 54. Step 5, click anywhere outside the photo to deselect. So we're going to deselect. Now, if you notice that your name is long and it's making the last paragraph go to the next page, then you need to change your name. Maybe use your first initial and then your last name. First initial and last name rather than your full name, and that should bring it back up on the page. Your flyer needs to be on one page. On page 55 of the textbook, to insert a border around your flyer. So on the ribbon, we're going to click the Design tab. Okay, so click Design tab, and in the Page Background group, that's on the far right, Page Background group, we're going to click Page Borders. So click Page Borders. And in the Setting section, we're going to choose Box. So we're going to click here to choose Box. In the Style box, we're going to scroll down until we see Double Line Style. All right, let's look for Double Line Style. I see it right here. So we're going to click Double Line Style. And then step 5, we're going to click the color arrow. So we're going to click Color. Choose Green Accent 6, which is the very first green. Okay, we did that. And then down below, let's see what else we need to do. We're going to go ahead and use the 1/2 point for the width. And I'm looking to see if there's anything else that we need to do. In the lower right corner of the Borders and Shading dialog box, we're to click the Options button. So click Options. The Border and Shading Options dialog box opens up, and by default, the border is positioned 24 points from the edges of the page. If you plan to print your document on an older printer, it is sometimes necessary to change the measure from setting to text so that the border is positioned relative to the outside edge of the text rather than the edge of the page. Okay, we're going to flip over to page 56. Just wanted to show you this. We're now going to click Cancel. And then we're going to click OK to close out the box. The flyer now has a double line green border. Save the document. And we have finished, we have completed our flyer. Next, we're going to be creating bulleted and numbered lists.